How you guys doing? Merry couple weeks before Christmas. We're doing this actually. We usually do like every other week, but we found a
I think we were thinking for December we could do that.
Let's all get some Christmas movies in.
Yeah, let's get some terrible Christmas movies in.
I mean, I already started off the trend with Santa Jaws. You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. So, but now we're full-fledged into it. It's December.
This is actually a movie I don't even remember like hearing.
Yeah.
I was like,
when
I saw this, I was like, what?
What is this? Yeah, and it's got like big names in it.
It came out in 2010. There's a guy from Lord of the Rings is in it, I think. Gandalf. You heard that guy? You mean Big Pussy's cohort?
Like you shout
Tony
out
Soprano?
Yeah.
Tony Soprano. Playing Tony Soprano.
This was the start of The Sopranos. Like, he made all this money off this guy, and then, he started his business.
Yeah,
his
I got a great idea for a
yeah.
shoot. I'm going to star in them, of course. It's a prequel. Guys,
the Velcros,
we watched 2010's Surviving Christmas.
Yeah.
Do we have a synopsis?
I'm pulling it up right now.
I don't, because I don't have my I could rip it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Memorable.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm very memorable.
Basically, a wealthy advertising executive who works for, what was the place called?
No one gives a crap.
The business? I don't remember. Comstock or something?
Conserve.
I don't know.
Did I write it down? Con Ed. He worked for, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It was terrible.
It was like ball sack or something.
Yeah.
That's
it. Ball sack. Ball bag.
There's something that wasn't a good advertising firm name. It was really dumb.
But anyway, his girlfriend breaks up with him. And so...
Played by Jennifer Morrison.
Yeah, because she's like, you're not serious about us because she's never met his family. And she thinks that, he's not serious because he hasn't introduced her to his family. So, let's start drinking.
Yeah, by the way, this has James Gandolfini's nickname on it, Big Luscious, so... I thought it was your name.
Oh, God. I forgot how sweet that was.
Oh, it's so sweet. It's too
God.
sweet. Like a chocolate berry.
Oh, God. Cookies. So anyway, so she brings up...
These are actually less sweet.
So then... he goes back to his hometown he gets that idea from, who is it? Someone at the airport or something? No, some random guy, remember? He was like, what should I do about this?
His girlfriend's psychiatrist.
Oh my God, that's right. He bribes his girlfriend's psychiatrist secretary to give him, all of the information about him and is basically like, what should I do? And the psychiatrist is just like, well, go to your family home and burn a piece of paper with all of your grievances on it and you'll feel better. He's literally rushing out of the airport.
It's
and
also
he's just
not
do
a
this.
thing.
Yeah. But Ben Affleck's character...
It was go to some place that reminds you of your
home.
family or something, or home.
Yeah.
Which was his literal home.
Yeah.
He keeps trying to call people to and they're all like, no, we have kids, we can't do anything.
Yeah.
He's just this big loser.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, exactly.
Someone to hang out with on Christmas.
Drew. His name's Drew. How could we forget that? Drew. Yeah, so he decides to go to the family home and then decides he's going to pay this family to let him spend Christmas with them because they're a real family having a real Christmas. So,
and then, we don't have to go on the whole thing, but hilarity ensues. He tries to hire this family to be his family.
I like how it starts with a bunch of scenes of people, first enjoying Christmas and then, hating Christmas. Everything's really tough about Christmas. It's so hard.
They're trying to set something up. Didn't know what at the beginning. Still really don't know what at the end, but there's some stars in this fucking movie.
I want to stick your head in the oven, by the way.
No, I was going to say, the best part is the end of that whole, intro is this woman making sad gingerbread cookies. They're all, angry, and then she literally just puts her head in the oven. It's wow.
Hey, wow. That guy's dark real quick.
Also,
does that work? Probably, right? I mean, if it'd be hot, your body would probably make you get out. Unless you just let the gas on or something.
Yeah, you're breathing in the gas. That's
I guess.
So you're cooking your own head. Come on, dude.
But she just had her head in there, so it's still hot. I mean, the cookies were just in there.
She probably turned the pilot off or something.
It was a joke, you guys.
And also, we don't know if the cookies are just in there.
Yeah. So, So it's Ben Affleck, I think, just being himself, right? This was before he was really trying anything. This is
Actually, this was not 2010. It was 2004 or 2005.
Yeah,
it was before
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
No, I was going to say, 2010 was...
It was pre-Daredevil Affleck. Well, sure.
This was like before, like, this is Salt in the Swing Affleck. He wasn't there yet.
2003.
He was just ramping up to
Yeah.
to Daredevil heights, if you will.
So I watched it with Jamie. I did ask her a few questions. She just never had a sex dream about Ben Affleck. Only Matt Damon.
Okay.
No.
Only who? Matt Damon?
Matt Damon. Yeah. Matt Damon.
I like Matt Damon.
Who
I've
hasn't,
never
though?
had a sex. I've never had a celebrity sex dream. Never in my life.
No, me neither.
I can't remember one.
That's fine.
I probably
I
have
don't,
one.
I don't
Very
care.
hard. Here's what's Ben Affleck this one.
No, Matt Damon. I just said that.
Can't tell apart, can you?
You like Ben Affleck's DV in his Batman.
Mine was Randy Quaid.
I'm gonna fuck you now!
Yours! Like, yes.
Shitter was full.
All of that.
Oh, guys, do you
Okay.
remember the product that he was helping to endorse in the beginning? It was Christmas themed.
Oh,
The
it was
Nogger
the
thing.
non,
Nog.
Yeah, the nog. like the vegan,
The
non-fat,
Fat-free.
fat-free
Fat-free
eggnog.
vegan eggnog.
Yeah.
But it was spiked, so
Yeah.
no.
So it says the Noggertons was the family in it. He already, I was like, this guy is like the fashionable male guy like 5 years
Yeah,
later.
exactly. Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
This is why he was cast, because of that.
Also, Jennifer Morrison's character, I can't remember her name, never gonna try.
Her name was Missy.
Missy.
Missy,
Yeah.
okay.
I wrote it down so that
He got
these
her
guys are both
first
assholes.
class tickets to Fiji for Christmas, and she got all fucking weird with him.
Yeah, because Christmas is time you spend with family.
No, but her character does not portray like any kind of like deeper sense of
No,
Yeah.
I thought like
that.
she'd be a family person later in the movie or something, or like she'd be related to her family, her family's really cool.
All of their characters
Nothing
were
of that.
very superficial. Like, you never really got any intro to them. You were just like, this is the person. They're not going to develop. But you guys, it's a Kevin Smith movie, so you can't expect much from the female characters, can you?
Is it a Kevin Smith movie?
I thought it was.
No, just
Oh,
all
that's
Kevin
the
Smith's
last
buddies
one.
are in it, yeah.
It felt like a
I
Kevin
was like,
Smith
it
movie.
did feel like a Kevin Smith
It should have
movie.
been a Kevin
There's
Smith.
some shitty
Kevin
writing.
Smith Christmas movie.
It was the Jacob Smith movie. It's
Oh.
his brother.
Mm.
His brother, yeah.
No, the Brodsky movie. The Brodsky's wrote this movie and directed the movie.
And then that's how they have the starring role later. It's like, you know, if you write this for me, you know, when I'm off the drugs, finally.
This movie had a ridiculous amount of masturbation jokes, and like none of them really hit.
No, get it? Nice one.
Yeah. So, I do like that James Gandolfini just hits him with a shovel. Like, he's just on his property and he just, like, beats him. Because he's just there.
I mean, it would
and
be
so,
weird if a guy was burning
Because
something
he's
outside your
blue
house.
collar, man. Okay,
Wow.
he's a blue collar guy. You know, doesn't
But,
take shit.
okay.
It's
But,
like when you pay
okay, you
him.
clock him with your shovel. Instead of calling the cops, he brings him in the house and just lays him
Yeah.
on the ground until he wakes up.
And they're all like, oh, he's dead.
Well,
Like,
that,
you just killed
well,
someone.
that first time I thought there'd be like a person that was like, "Oh, good thing
Yeah.
you brought him in." Like I told you, but no, they're just like, "No, he fucking sucks. Like this guy sucks. I hate him."
So can we just say, Catherine
Because they're the
O'Hara is at both, this is her most wasted talent of a movie ever, but also the best thing in this movie.
The seminal
Like,
role.
that's how terrible this movie is it's her worst role, but she still carries the movie. I'm just
I mean, it
saying,
might have been her
so.
seminal role. We don't know what happened with her son later in the movie.
When you first went up to the home, I just wrote, "Is this a home invasion?"
Yeah.
Line, and it kind of is.
Yeah.
But it was like terrible. Like, this is fucking dumb. Like,
Yeah. So he gets them to agree that he's going to pay them a ton of money to let him spend like the next few days through Christmas with them. He wants to have like
$250,000.
there you go. To have like a good old fashioned family Christmas. So one of the first things he wants to do is the next day he wants to go get a Christmas tree. And guess what, Dad? You have to wear a Santa hat. Oh my God, so embarrassing.
I'm not going to wear the hat though.
Yeah.
What about the British contract?
Yeah.
He gave me them $250,000, and it's a Santa hat. It's not like he told him to put on like a lady's underwear on his head or something.
Yeah, no.
Like a Santa hat
Yeah,
during
you
Christmas.
have to wear the Santa
Oh
hat.
man, it's really challenging your masculinity.
Yeah,
I
but like
guess.
he's like a tough, he's like a tough masculine
He's
dude,
a blue
you know.
collar man, man. Okay, Matt. Men don't wear Santa hat.
Young men don't wear Santa hats. Like, he's younger, right? Sure. Also, I did enjoy, like, the early stages of, like, internet porn that you got to see in this movie of, like, images that you have to wait for the page to download.
like
about
college.
it.
It's like college all over.
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
See, you kids nowadays are spoiled. With
Yeah.
Your instant pornos.
Yeah. What did I write here? Oh, despite no one in this movie knowing who they're supposed to be. Like, no one knew who or what their character was really supposed to be.
I'm pretty sure this was all improv, except they were given a couple. Like your character's a kind of a bitch. Your character is like a blue collar
but I said
guy.
Catherine Aher is still the funniest part. Of course, she is. Oh, and then he takes them. Okay, so then they find out. I skipped through so many things because this movie is so bad. They find out that they have a daughter, which they totally neglected to tell him that they have a daughter who would be coming to stay for the holidays. And they totally neglected to tell her that he had paid them all this money to come and stay with them during the holidays. So she shows up, and he's just like, oh, you can be the maid because I hadn't written this into my family story.
Well, because it wasn't in his family.
Yeah.
Like, he was portraying these people as his real family, even though obviously they weren't, and later in the movie you find out they aren't.
Yeah.
But he has a younger brother, and no sister, you have to be the maid. Ha 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 ha.
I feel like someone saw What About Bob and was like, what if we do this with like that Ben Affleck guy?
What if we make the least funniest version of that movie?
Because like they were trying so hard for it to be like, look, he's annoying, but he has a heart of gold. And you're like, okay.
So they decide they're gonna go tobogganing. And the sister's like, I'm gonna go too, because I can have fun. And they get up to this.
I'll show you.
They go to this hill that he used to go to that's like really small now. So then he's like, I'm gonna take you to a mountain in Chicago. You know where all the mountains are in Chicago?
Well, they looked like a ski slope of some sort of look like, because they look like skiing.
Well, I looked, and it was actually in California, where the actual slope where they went. And I guess he has a helicopter, so he can do that. But also, they're in there's no mountains near Chicago. They'd have to cross the Great Lakes and go north, or they'd have to go like all the way to the Rockies. It's just so funny. But then the son makes a joke about Sonny Bono. It's just like poor taste.
But also like.
Also, you don't know who the fuck Sonny Bono is.
who
You're
that
a teenage
is.
boy.
Like
It was
Wikipedia
ridiculous.
wasn't even a thing yet. Like what the fuck?
I wrote in here, I have never at any point in my life of knowing who Ben Affleck was have ever been attracted to him. Never.
Right. And like Ben Affleck like doing that like young Ben Affleck just trying
Like
way
the goofy,
too hard.
yeah, exactly.
And you're like, just please stop.
Yeah.
Like it's just very cloying.
What I missed?
Him and Christina Applegate have zero.
None.
Less than zero. And they're just
Oh,
like,
they don't-
now I'm in love with you, and you're like,
Yeah, they don't set up well at all. That was my biggest problem with that. Like, okay, they're two good-looking people. They could have had some chemistry, but they didn't set it up.
Yeah.
Like, we hate each other, and then went sledding, and now we are in love with each other?
And Christina Applegate didn't do a horrible job acting in this.
No.
I thought. I just thought they didn't have much for her character.
Really, most people acted well in this. The script was written poorly.
Yeah.
It was rushed, and, like, the pieces that were, like, you're supposed to be like, oh, this is gonna be the crazy twist. None of it was funny. Like,
We read they also hired an old guy to play his
Doodah!
Doodah, yeah.
Doodah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's
Who
what
shows
anyone's
up?
ever
Remember
called
the first
their
time he
grandfather.
shows up too? The dad like hits him with a shovel because he just loves hitting people with shovels. It's like what the.
But also-
It's assaulting.
Yeah.
But also, Doodah.
Yeah.
That's something that anyone's ever called anyone.
It was
They're
funny.
wrong, yeah.
Come on, man.
So I love there's a scene where they're like starting to get into the Christmas spirit and they're like literally throwing gifts under the tree and like throwing food and like stuff around and I'm just like, what the hell is happening right now?
Cocaine, I think. I'm pretty sure Ben Affleck's character, and maybe Ben Affleck was on cocaine for this whole movie.
Yeah.
Because his character was borderline psychopath.
But
and
he
was
helps them all to pursue their dreams. So is he really the bad guy?
Yes, he was a psychopath. Like, I was like, he's gonna murder these people and wear their skin at the end.
Several times in my notes I was like, he's a psych. This guy's a psycho. Like he's fucking insane.
Like, every time something went a little bit awry in his plan, he'd get, like, really frustrated, like he was gonna kill them, and I'm like, I don't... Like, is this supposed to be the funny
Because they
part?
weren't really people to him. They were like things he owned, you know?
Yeah, but then happily ever after at the end, so...
Well, because she fell in love with him, man.
I I wrote in here, what the fuck, dick tucking jokes? I'm trying to remember what joke that was. There was some really bad
they showed a
shit.
picture. They showed a baby picture of the
Oh,
daughter.
and she was a girl, right?
Yeah.
Because the parents are there. Because his
Like,
girlfriend's like,
so
oh,
long, man.
yeah. So his girlfriend's like, you're with your family. I'm gonna come see you. But he's already started kind of to develop feelings for the
But
other
also,
girl.
she broke up with him.
Yeah,
What the
I know.
Fuck?
So then, apparently, her parents live in town because they fucking like show up at their house.
My biggest problem with this is supposedly she
Yeah,
called
whole
the
movie.
dude's secretary, and he seems like one of those people he'd be straight shooting. Yeah, I ran out of this family or something like that. He's not that I'm going to live with my family. Here's their address. Come send people there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Sure, he didn't say that. So like then his secretary, who should be fired after this, just gives his address.
Also, all the secretaries getting bribed for information in this movie. Like,
well, that's because secretaries are very loose with, you know, as long as you got some money, they'll
It's like mercenaries, basically.
Yeah. The highest bidder.
mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that there's no secretaries were poached.
But we did determine that, like, the best character in this movie, even though Catherine O'Hara definitely, like, stole the show, the best character was Missy's dad, because he was just like, whatever, let people be people. I don't care.
He's like, I'm too tired of all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And right away when they finally, like, nailed down that, like, that she wasn't a maid, that she was his sister, then you're like, here's where the incest stuff happens.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay.
Oh, yeah, incest jokes. That was like, yeah.
Like, we've come to the incest part of the comedy.
There's one thing, I don't know if you guys talked about this. Did you talk about Breakneck Hill and how it was a fucking Rocky Mountain right next to Chicago?
Yeah, we did. And
Right.
how they'd have to literally go, like, thousands
It was like
of miles to get
it was
to
like
a mountain.
Ninja Turtles-esque with
And now we're in Chicago!
what the fuck?
Like, that's the Great Plains.
I'm trying to think where there even be a mountain within 500
Isn't
miles
that
of Chicago.
The Great
Like,
Plains?
Yeah.
Like that area.
Yeah.
Is it much plains?
no,
Yeah, it's just flat.
No.
And lakes. Like, but, yeah, no, it's
Maybe
no
North
mountains.
Dakota? That's still really far away.
Yeah, it's very far. They make some black jokes at some point.
Well, because the funniest
Second
part...
dude
Second dude out, the understudy.
Oh, right!
Yeah.
The dude that understudy is black, so...
That
That
was
was
pretty
hitting
funny.
on everyone.
That guy was funny, though. He was
Oh.
pretty funny. I like the second dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's better than first dude.
Yeah. Second dude, like, hitting on
I
everybody.
did hate him, like, hitting on everyone. It's just like...
And
come on.
as to the incest, guys.
Yeah, because it's his daughter, right?
Woohoo.
So...
I guess
Yes.
great.
It's fine. And of course the mom, because the women in this are two-dimensional, he's like, oh, go get some nice professional photos taken. We didn't even talk about this part. She had boudoir photos taken.
Well, because it was his guy, though. He
Right.
let his guy do it for him.
Which means he's terrible, because then this guy sold those
the
photos
guy
to a
just
fucking
put
porn
them on a
site.
porn
Yeah.
site. Like I was like, oh, I get the boudoir photo type thing. I get that. So
Can you say boudoir?
boudoir. I said it. I said it wrong for a second.
Boudoir.
Boudoir.
You
So-
said
so-
no, I
said
actually
right.
like the way you said it. It's like a bougie boudoir.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Boudoir.
boudoir.
But anyway, so they got this dude who you see this stuff being the
Sorry for all our French listeners.
the photographer, but he's taking all the pictures, but she already looks like fucking hot trash.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They made her
but
look
okay,
bad.
I get it. It was supposed to be this joke, and I thought maybe like the son would get the pictures or something, like by mistake, like in a present exchange or something. I thought,
He did get those
I
pictures.
thought that would have been hilarious, but then
Yeah,
instead
because
somehow they get sold to a porn site
Yeah.
or something. Like,
and so he sees
Immediately,
them
like he
online.
immediately posted.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way that happens.
But also,
okay.
like, she
Well,
doesn't
maybe
even
the
explain
filmer guy
it
is
to
a
the
porn
husband. Like, it's
Do
so
we know how
confusing.
many days this movie was supposed to be over? Like the arc of the movie.
Like
I
two,
think. Yeah,
three
2 or 3.
times?
It could be 1 day or 17 days. No
Well,
clue.
because they do like a morning scene with
Yeah.
like the little breakfast thing going on. And
But
then
they were also sick, and then they were not sick.
well, because just a little sick, right? Like
They
it's
were, like,
oh,
sneezing
Sheila got the sniffles.
Yeah, because we went sledding, so, you know,
that
we have a
automatically means you get
cold.
sick when you're cold.
But then they
And
both
it's snow
got
on you.
sick.
Yeah.
But then they also got closer.
Yeah.
Got romantic and shit.
What? That's how I always feel very sexy when I'm sick.
Yeah.
Especially when it's with a new person that definitely hated my
Yeah.
Okay, but so then they do the he does the big over the top thing, and she hates him again. Then she comes back. She's like, "Yeah, I want to give you a second chance." Then he's with his ex-girlfriend. Then she's like, "I'm still going to give you another chance after
But
that."
he feels remorse. That's why he's feeling
the
remorse.
fuck.
now.
Like,
He's not a psychopath because he.
I mean,
feels
by the
remorse.
third time, you're like, "Okay, I'm good now."
Yeah.
There's no other guys on this planet besides my brother and father.
Yeah. None. No, and then of course, we get like the revealing heart to heart where you learn that, you know,
Yeah,
his dad left
exactly.
and his mom
Shame.
worked like at, you know, to first of all, that house was huge. So
Yeah,
a single mom
huge.
fucking affording that house, I don't know how that
They
happened.
had to
Jimmy-
work 24
Jimmy
hours.
She
said the
worked
same
at
thing.
a
Jimmy said something, she's
diner.
Like, what? Are you
She
serious?
worked at a fucking diner, and I know she worked like a 12-hour
That's
shift,
back in
but
like the
come on.
60s, 70s. You could do that, right? Like early 80s? You probably bought a
No.
house back then.
No. No.
With a diner salary.
No.
Plus, she worked
Maybe-
24 hours. She worked double
Maybe
shifts.
if the mortgage was already paid off and you only had to pay the taxes, maybe. But
Maybe.
it was crazy.
Probably not.
But every Christmas, he did nothing. He was like all alone, and he'd walk down to the diner and get a big
All right,
stack of pancakes.
First off, okay, I feel bad that he didn't have any family. So maybe she like had
No,
been.
that's how they wanted you to feel, though, which
Yeah.
is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I was like,
unearned.
I literally pointed at the screen and went manipulative.
Unearned.
Yeah.
Unearned.
because even if they had no family, like all the family died off, or like they didn't accept her because she was a single mom or whatever, like she would somehow have friends. Like they would know people, and then he would have friends if he wasn't such a fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was a
Like he would have friends, but he has like the whole thing is he's like, I have no friend. Like then you're a shitty person. Like I don't know what to
Also,
say.
was Cartier like a really big thing in the?
Yeah, apparently.
They said-
It's
they
a
said
Cartier.
It must have been the sponsor.
It's
Cartier,
Cartier,
yeah.
Chris. So I'm like, fuck off,
Yeah.
please.
Must have been like the sponsor of the movie or something.
Like 100%
Cartier
stop this.
tennis bracelets.
And also, like, who's buying tennis bracelets? Like, come on. Like, you're not adding to this guy's character in any way. Like,
No.
you know, he's already at maximum douche. And you're like, he bought her a tennis bracelet. You're
No,
like,
basically this movie was this guy's a douchebag, but we like writing movies about douchebags, so we're gonna write another one and it's gonna have a Christmas bend to it. And then like the dad's like, oh, I was gonna break up with the wife, but it's like we got no setup for that, so we don't give a shit.
The setup was
Yeah.
they are unhappy. That was.
Well,
the
they just
setup.
seemed like bored,
Yeah.
but not
She
like
was like
unhappy.
a blue
she was
collar
very
couple.
distant, and he was like bored. But
Yeah.
that was the setup. I'm not saying it was a good setup. I'm saying that was the setup. Like she was kind of like very distant, and he was just kind of like an asshole. You know?
Yeah. But then he's like, I was gonna leave her.
But
It's
also,
like, okay.
He gets like that snowball scene where he gets
but I
all
bought
like
a Camaro.
he gets all like Tony Soprano like that.
Yeah.
He must have been testing out his character there.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you hit me with a snowball?
Yeah.
Huh? Like, why don't you hit me? First of all, if you beat him up, it's almost definitely a breach of contract. Okay. Unless that's his thing. He's like, I need my dad to beat me.
No, I mean, he liked it. He let him do it. Like, literally, he got hit in
Yeah.
the face with like an ice ball.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the one scene they did a little makeup. They're like, oh, let's put a little shine on
Yeah,
it.
that was gone in like an hour. That
Yeah.
was fine.
No, I mean, I think.
That's why I said it could have been 17
Well,
days.
I just think that, like, Ben Affleck's character was like Wolverine. Like, he didn't know
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Because, like, he just, like, got better from shit and
Yeah.
nothing hurt him, you know.
Christina Applegate.
She has also not aged. Like, she does not look
Yeah.
much older now, and she's 49. I was like, what?
She's got good genes.
I'd like to get in those.
So how was this movie better or worse than Christmas with the Cranks? Huh? That's
So that was my question, because he was like, is it better or worse than Yoga Hosers? And I was like, more like, was it better or worse than Christmas with the Cranks?
And for comparing to Christmas with the Cranks, both were terrible.
This automatically gets an up because Kathleen O'Hara's in it. Like that.
This
that-
was better
that-
than Christmas with the
pretty
Cranks.
much what
I
sells.
enjoyed the people that were in it. The script was fucking bad. Like, I like looking at James Gandolfini, late James Gandolfini, R.I.P. His face,
His body, his naked body.
his
yeah.
naked body. I think was he naked? There's a
Big
naked
luscious,
scene.
big
Did you watch the extended scene
Yeah,
where
it's in
his
the- yeah,
whole
it's-
dick was out?
Big
He's
luscious.
like, Dad, he's always naked when he's in the bathroom. He's like, are you kidding me? He's like, take off your pants.
I mean, he's imagine a big hairy dude.
But I guess I don't hate Ben Affleck. You know, he was the fashionable male douchebag in this
Yeah.
film to me. So I was like, okay.
No, and
Christina
I feel
Applegate
like
was in this,
I feel like that's
Catherine
just
O'Hara's
Ben
in this.
Affleck. I mean, I really do.
I don't
think
know.
that's just.
So
his
Matt,
could-
if you're doing the spill.com, you go to Matinee, is what you're saying?
If this had a good script, it could have been a good movie, but it didn't. It had an abysmal script, and the twist was fucking terrible. I was just like, okay. The movie felt like it was like 4.5 hours long because the script was so bad, but it was still better than Christmas with the Cranks. Fuck that movie.
Jamie watched the whole movie with me for the record.
That's why I was like, I knew she would, you know.
And we were up
have some
pretty late, and
interest,
she
yeah.
still stayed. She's like, you know
So.
what? Still watching. Well, and we just watched Schitt's Creek 2 before that, so.
Oh, that was a letdown.
It's still Catherine O'Hara though.
No, and that's what I mean.
That girl.
That was her worst role, and it was still she was the best person in that movie. That's how fucking amazing
She
she
didn't
is.
have to overact at all. She was perfect.
She didn't have to take
They
care
did
of
no
the
makeup thing.
face.
She looked very tired, and then she felt better because she had the makeup on and looked crazy, and you're like,
Yeah, like her. Actually, her arc with James Gandolfini was actually entertaining, and it was.
And the only one
It
that
had only thing that had any kind of payoff. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Correct. Like the only thing that had any kind of payoff in it. Like you're like, okay, I've been. This happened. The movie had an arc.
Yeah.
You
so.
got me.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I got. Guys, do we want to burn this?
First, I want to show you my Cartier bracelet.
Yeah.
You want to burn this movie?
Oh yeah, burn the shit out of it. It's terrible. I wouldn't recommend it.
I don't know.
It's free on YouTube, so
Yeah, it's free on YouTube if you want to watch it.
I might
free
watch
movie.
it once for free, but you can burn it afterwards.
Yeah.
Burn it after watching.
I mean, if you like bad movies, you may like this movie, but it's just okay. Like it wasn't. There's nothing right home about. Right on a list and burn it in a front yard or anything. I wouldn't do it
This would be on the list I burnt in the front yard.
after watching.
This Christmas with the Cranks and Yoga Hosers.
There you go.
Pretty cool.